66 million years ago, the Yucatan Peninsula. It was a Tuesday morning like any other in the late Cretaceous. The climate was warm. There was no ice at the poles. The Earth was a greenhouse paradise. The rulers of this world were the dinosaurs. They had reigned for 165 million years. They were the most successful land animals in history. Evolution had built them to last forever. But in the vacuum of space, a rock the size of Mount Everest was rushing to meet them. It was moving at 70,000 kilometers per hour. That's 20 kilometers per second. It crossed the distance from the moon to Earth in just a few hours. The animals on the ground looked up. A second sun had appeared in the sky. It got brighter and brighter until it outshone the sun itself. The asteroid hit the atmosphere. The air in front of it compressed into plasma. It punched a hole in the atmosphere so violent, it created a vacuum in the sky. Impact. The asteroid touched the shallow sea of what is now Mexico. In a fraction of a second, the asteroid stopped. All its kinetic energy was released at once. The energy was equal to 100 million megatons of TNT. That's billions of atomic bombs. It excavated a crater 30 kilometers deep and 100 kilometers wide in seconds. Debris was blasted upwards at Mach 50. Some of the rocks escaped Earth's gravity and landed on the moon. The shock wave flattened everything within 1,000 kilometers instantly. Dinosaurs in North America were vaporized before they even heard the sound. The sound of the explosion would eventually circle the globe countless times. But the blast wasn't the killer. The killer was the re-entry. Trillions of tons of molten rock, blasted into space, began to fall back down. As these glass beads fell through the atmosphere, they heated the air by friction. The global temperature skyrocketed to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. The atmosphere turned into a global pizza oven. Forests across the world spontaneously combusted. Animals couldn't hide. There was nowhere to run from the air itself. 90% of the world's biomass burned that afternoon. The smoke from the fires joined the dust from the impact. The sun vanished. In the ocean, the water reacted to the hole in the crust. A ring-shaped wave formed, 1 kilometer high. It moved across the Gulf of Mexico at the speed of a jetliner. It slammed into the coastline, pushing inland for hundreds of miles. Even rivers on the other side of the world splashed out of their banks. The earthquakes triggered underwater landslides, creating more waves. The oceans became a churning soup of mud and death. Marine reptiles breathed in the ash and suffocated. By the end of the first day, the fires had died down, but the darkness had just begun. The dust blocked the sun for a decade. Photosynthesis stopped. The food chain collapsed from the bottom up. The mighty T-Rex starved to death in the cold. 75% of all species on Earth went extinct. But deep underground, in the roots of trees, life held on. Small, furry mammals survived on insects and seeds. They were our ancestors, waiting for the sun to return. The asteroid didn't destroy life. It reset the clock for us. We are the children of the worst day in history, and the crater is still there, buried under the sea. A scar that made us possible.